Hello, my name is Danny Marshburn and I am the boss at Infinite Yoga and Wellness in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and you are watching the East Daily Download.
This is the East Daily Download. This is the East Daily Download. This is the East Daily Download. That's right. This is the East Daily Download.
So let's get started.
Thank you for joining us today. It's Friday. We're excited. It's the end of it's not the first full week of June, but June started this week. We are in June now. It's summertime, which is nice. Yesterday, if you were with us, we went outside, did a little walking through the woods, which was nice. Monday was Memorial Day, and we were very fortunate to be able to go out to the town common and go to the monument there at the town common for military, for veterans. So we enjoyed that. It's been a kind of an interesting back and forth week, a little bit in, a little bit out. So we're planning on doing a lot more stuff out in the coming months. So hopefully you can enjoy the day as much as you enjoy this next story. Check it out.
Thank you, Mark. So today on Fashion Friday, we're talking about a trend that you might be used to seeing during the winter and fall. It's making a transition to the summer now to get you ready for the heat. And I'm talking about knitting and crocheting. And so you might not be able to guess who we'll have on the show today, but we went to college together at the University of Illinois. We graduated together. And since we last spoke, Dominique Guest has, developed a new passion with knitting and a business venture. And thank you so much for joining us on the show today, Dominique.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So if you could tell me a little bit about what's been going on during this pandemic and your business venture that we're excited about.
So when pretty much in March, when we were sent home to work from home, and originally it was only supposed to be 2 weeks, and then kind of as time went on, it was just like, okay, this is starting to become more of a permanent situation. So I really wanted to start like a hobby, something that can kind of take my mind elsewhere. And so ironically, my mom had some yarn at home, and she had one little crochet hook, and she knew how to do the basic stitch, which is a chain stitch and crochet, and she taught me that. And then I was I just took off from there, and then that's when I started kind of making tops, and then I started making hats, and then I just started making a whole bunch of stuff that I just fell in love with.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Maybe the start of it, at home with your mom. Beanies. I know the beanies were something that was really standing out. How do you kind of choose what you're gonna make and the yarn colors and the fabric type of things like that?
I think it depends on what inspires me, or things that I personally like. For example, Chicago, the city that we're from, is I know a lot of people wear hats and things like that, but I was I kind of I started adding patches to my hats, just something to make a little bit different. And so I make a Chicago hat that's sky blue with the red stars on it. So I loved it because it said Chicago without actually having to say Chicago.
So then the switch from what you were saying, you're constantly learning, looking at videos, evolving, but from beanies with two one-shoulder tops, elegant pieces like that I would have never thought they could even be knitted in that type of fabric. How did you come up with the idea to start doing that? Did you model on yourself, or what was the idea with that?
I think it was just I would see on Instagram people made tops, or people made just all kind of things, or blankets, and I knew I didn't have the patience for blankets. I was tops. I love wearing cute tops in the summertime, so I learned how to make that. Or just I honestly made things based off of what I personally like to wear, and that's why I usually choose bright colors, because I love wearing bright colors throughout the year.
I know another way that you've been kind of getting creative with your content, maybe on social media, is through TikTok. So could you talk about some of the cool videos that you made and how you decided to do that?
I literally when I first started hearing about TikTok was like last year, and I really was never on it. And then I just got on it, and I was like one of those people who got on it and like would watch videos for hours. So then I was like, I want to make a TikTok. And so I just started making some TikToks, but I also wanted it to make it about obviously what I'm making and things like that.
Disappointed right now. It is National Donut Day after all, or at least the summertime version. It seems like there's a lot of National Donut Days. Rice was supposed to bring donuts in today, and as you can tell, there's no donuts here. I tell you what, I'm gonna stop talking because it's Friday, I'm tired, and I'm just kind of meandering now. That's what happens when I sit on the couch rather than move around. So check this next story out. Meet me back here and we will continue the fun-filled adventure.
Now downloading Conversations with.
You have contributed so much to Eastern North Carolina, the market, WNCT. I know you've come back a couple of times over the years to do interviews with candidates for office, and you know, listen, as far as I'm concerned, the East Daily Download, even though it's not news technically, it's fun, it's more entertaining. Yes, but we do pieces like this that are a little bit more serious, that have a little bit of a lighter side to them. You're welcome to come by anytime. You want to come and co-host for a week or whatever when I'm on vacation, knock yourself out. But you know, now that you look back, and like I said, it's been close to 10 years since you've retired.
Yep. 9 years, almost.
Yeah. You're still in the market, you're still part of the community. What is it that, you know, what are you doing these days?
You know, everybody has said this, I'm sure, but I pretty much do what I want. If I want to go somewhere, I go. If, you know, all I have to worry about is the wife and the cat, and that's about it.
You know, for me personally, just as a quick aside, you know, doing this interview with you, this is a thrill for me because you help me elevate my game because Alan?
This is something.
That's got it. That's the biggest takeaway. Now I can remember laughing with you when we would do pieces and do different, you know, promos for stuff.
Yep.
So you know, you're always, for me personally, a pleasure to work with. I
you're for me.
Well, please. This is the part where we get into self-congratulations back and forth. Alan, thank you for being on the show. It's been a pleasure. And you know, anytime that you want to come back on the East Daily Download, think of it as your home away from home, even though we don't do news per se. It's more information, entertainment about Eastern North Carolina. Yeah, well, we try to have a lot of fun here. And I think that's something that you brought a lot of fun, even though you were very serious as a journalist getting the story across. Behind the scenes, I always thought you were a lot of fun to talk to and interact with.
You too.
But do you have anything you want to say to the fine folks of Eastern North Carolina before we wrap up?
It's good to see you again. Go live your lives, enjoy yourselves, and be sure to remember Memorial Day.
When you're tired, winding down from a long day dealing with... Get the news you need at 11 to finish your day out right.
A lot can happen between 6 and 11, but we've got you covered.
From preparing the most up-to-date forecast in our weather center so you know what to expect in the morning, to continuing to follow stories that impact you and covering live breaking news.
9 on Your Side at 11 is here for you.
Join us weeknights on 9 on Your Side News at 11.
I am back. Had to do a quick jog. I was losing my steam there because I didn't have a donut. But again, I'm not going to make a big thing out of it, Bryce. Anyway, hey, we are back, and I want to quickly, we haven't talked about this in a while. We're on social media, and you can reach the show, watch the show, see the show, all the platforms, well, 2 of the platforms, Instagram and the Facebook, as they call it, the Facebook. And East Daily Download's the hashtag, and you can email us as well, download@WNCT.com. We'd love to hear from you. Follow us, like us. We will like you, you like us. Let's be a big community together, East Daily Download community. See this? This was a gift. Thank you, Nikki. Very interesting. It's a little TV with a plant in it. It's a really heavy vase. It's really kind of cool. Oops. Dirt is falling out. Maybe I should not have picked that up. Put it down there. I just thought it was cool because it's a little TV, and this is TV, and so it was kind of cool. Anyway, let's do this block over again.
Hi, I'm Lauren Pate. I'm here with David Lee Jones. Hey, David, how are you today?
I'm good. Hope you are.
Doing good, doing good. We're so happy to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
If you could play and collaborate with any musician, dead or alive, who would you want to collaborate with?
There's actually 2, probably. I would love to sit down and play with Waylon, and probably Alan Jackson.
Nice.
Because some of my songs are kind of along the same lines of what he writes about. So it's all about real life.
And speaking of your songs, is there a particular song that you really enjoy playing live, like your favorite song to play live?
There's the first single off of my Carolina Sunset album, and you can get that anywhere they sell digital music, called Dance in the Moonlight. And the funny story about that is a buddy of mine that I went to school with, his name's Derek Knox. He works here in Greenville somewhere.
Oh, okay.
He sent me a bunch of lyrics on a piece of paper. And it took me about 2 years. My wife and I were riding around Virginia Beach, and a Frankie Ballard song came on the radio. And for the first time, I was listening to country radio. I don't normally listen to country.
Oh, okay.
And I told her, I said, that's what I want Dance in the Moonlight to sound like. We went home that night. She and I sat down and rearranged all the words that he sent me, and Dance in the Moonlight came out. And people actually have a line dance for that now.
That's so cool.
In certain places. It's not like global or anything, but certain venues that I play at, small clubs, they actually line dance to that song.
That's really neat.
And that's probably the most requested song on iTunes right now of mine.
Right. Oh, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
So now you mentioned you don't normally listen to country when you're driving around. So what do you normally listen to?
I listen to classic rock, sometimes alternative rock.
Anything we might not expect?
Slayer.
Okay.
Anthrax.
There you go.
But I really like Metallica and Stone Temple Pilots and some of the older stuff like Bad Company and Motley Crue.
Nice.
I don't listen to country much.
So can you tell everybody, any viewers out there watching that might want to keep up with you and see where you might be playing shows, or just to learn more about you? Do you have a website, Facebook, anything like that?
You can get all my music on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere they sell digital music. My website is davidleejones.org. Everything about me is there. Or you can just Google David Lee Jones and my mug will pop up.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, David. We can't wait to hear some of your original music coming up later in the show.
You actually purchased that town?
I can't do it. This place is a dump. You know what? It's a hellhole.
Schitt's Creek, weeknights at 11 on Eastern North Carolina CW.
Now downloading Salute to the East. Follow the East Daily Download on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram. Use the hashtag East Daily Download. Now downloading Week in Review.
Since Nikki needs outtakes, let's have an outtake on the way to do the main take.
Eastern North Carolina is home to many veterans, and leaders with Beaufort County's chapter of disabled veterans are looking to connect more retired military personnel in the area for this year's Memorial Day event.
Can we take the camera in there and do an ambush interview? Yeah. Ambush interview! Well, we should do those, ambush interview. Like, we should do like Billy on the Street pieces. You've seen Billy on the Street, haven't you? You've seen Billy on the Street.
Dr. Bob Pewter is the chief scientist at OSearch, a global nonprofit studying the great white shark, specifically since 2016.
Cruella's premiere was socially distanced and a little scaled down, but star Emma Stone was grateful to be back.
Volcanic eruptions are one of Earth's most violent and widespread natural disasters, but they can also be a natural spectacle. One volcano in Iceland has been putting on a fantastic show for weeks and continues to grow stronger.
9.
Are you rolling?
Now downloading Let's Draw.
Hi, I'm Ashley and welcome to Let's Draw. Today I'm going to show you something different from my normal tutorials. Let me explain. I'm the graphic artist at WNCT. I make art and animations for the station and newscast. Today I'm going to give you an inside look on how I make my 5-second holiday animations. I'm working on my animation for Earth Day, so the first thing I do is come up with a few ideas of what to do on a notepad, and then pick one that makes the most sense visually. Most of the time I do animations with flat objects I make on Photoshop and then save them individually so I can animate them on a program called Adobe After Effects, like what I did for my Valentine's Day animation. Other times I have made my holiday animations on a program called Cinema 4D, which makes things in a 3D plane. For Earth Day, I decided to keep it simple and clean. I made the globe in Cinema 4D and the text in Photoshop and animated it together in After Effects, blending both of them together to make a complete animation.
Hey, that's going to do it for this episode and really this week of the East Daily Download. I thought I needed to get the sunglasses on, get the Frisbee out because it's summertime, and why are we sitting inside? So we're going to get out a lot more because we need to get out and have some fun. It's been a long year plus of being inside, and we can all use, wait, it's better this way, right? We can all use some fun, get out of the building, get out, do some exercise, go to the beach, go to the mountains, walk around your neighborhood, go to local restaurants, do all that great stuff. Down Eats, by the way, Tuesdays on the East Daily Download. Lots of local restaurants, a lot of good time there. So you have yourself a great day, great weekend, really. And maybe I'll see you around town. Maybe I'll see you out by the beach. We'll get together. That's what I'm saying. And if not, I'll see you on Monday. It's more than 23 hours or 23 and a half hours. I can't do the math that quickly. But many hours from now, we'll reconvene on Monday, and it'll be a whole new show, a whole new week, and it will be a lot of fun. And I'm going to throw this Frisbee towards the camera right now, and hopefully it'll work. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Jones, and this is Back Before We Knew Better. We got lucky in the back of that Chevy out on Hollowell Road. You grew up and went off to college. What you saw in me, I'll never know. Your daddy said, boy, leave my little girl alone. At least let her get through school. But that was back before we knew better. Back before house payments and water bills, cell phones and 18 wheels. Our hearts change from day to day, just like the weather. Back before 40 hours of work all week. Good night, Daddy, and a kiss on the cheek. That was back before
Now it's you and me on that front porch swing, staring out at the yard. I can't help but think how my life would have turned out if I hadn't got that car. Kids are grown, have families of their own, but I can't help but think back